This show is sponsored by PaidToPlayToday.com. Start living life to the fullest. Get a free 30-day trial at PaidToPlayToday.com.
Coming at you live from Salt Lake City, Utah, Authentic Entrepreneur TV, Episode 13, Tribes. And now, the man who knows so much about tribes, you may think he's an actual Indian, yet the palest one you've ever seen, Garrett J. White.
Welcome to the show. This is Garrett J. White. This is Paid to Play Today TV. And I'm excited to have you here today. We've got a bunch of content we're going to jump through, rip through, roar through in about 20 minutes. But here we want to give a shout out to our sponsor of this television show and everything that I'm up to in my life at this point, and that is Paid to Play Today. So for your free 30-day membership and to check out live weekly webinars with myself and my team, and occasionally the Buddha, aka the Buddha, playing with us on our weekly Wake Up webinar series every single Monday. Go to paidtoplaytoday.com and sign up for your free membership today. So we're going to start off our show with a new twist. A new twist. It's called the Weekly Witness. The Weekly Witness. This is one testimony that we get of hundreds that we're getting every single week about our current programs in the paid to play process. Adam, are you ready?
I am ready.
Are you ready to share with them the love?
I'm ready to share the love.
Are you ready to hear the love?
They're ready
Shake
to
your
receive
head.
it.
Yes, you are. Take it away, my friend. Share with them the Weekly Witness of this week.
Okay. Dear Garrett, I wasn't wanting to participate in this program, and I didn't really know what to expect. But this started a change in my life that I needed. For so long, I've been a victim of my story of physical, sexual, and emotional abuse. Working at the age of 8, cleaning motel rooms, and living in a van. Yes, sometimes down by the river.
And that was actually in there. That he didn't just
I
make
didn't just
that
add
up.
that, seriously.
Okay.
Yeah. I had to fill a role as a caretaker for my mom, who was stranded in a blizzard, while she was coughing up blood and being so hungry. All I had at times was snow to eat. I took care of her during her chemo for several emotional problems, where she told me that everything was my fault. I choose to carry that. And when I lost my grandmother, my brother to suicide, and miscarried my first child, all in the same week, I tried to end my life. I lived my whole life in hiding and trying to be someone I wasn't. I tried to live in my husband's shadow and lost myself. I thought forever. My biggest and most powerful experience that I'm taking from this to stop being a victim. I have the control to put it all behind me and to forgive so I could move on who I really am. I have seen me again, and I will continue to see her. I am a strong, powerful, confident goddess of light and love. My life and my family's lives are now forever changed. Thank you very much.
Perfect. So this gives you an example of one of the witnesses. Guys, here's the deal. As for as much as I screw off, and Adam and I screw off on this show, I just want you to feel the energy shift in what we just saw in this witness, right? You could feel it. I mean, we came from blah, 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 screwing around like a bunch of Indians. And yet the message that we're sharing here, and even the whole purpose of this television show, is transformation. You often hear me talk about this idea that we've moved from a culture and business from the conversation of commodity-based exchange to transformational exchange, which requires a complete shift in thought process and requires a complete shift in the way we experience each other. This witness itself is real. This is real, and these are the kinds of results that we're getting from our paid-to-play process. So check it out at paidtoplaytoday.com. Get your free 30-day membership. Actually, you know what? You actually can jump on live on the webinars with me every single week just for free, just for opting in and being part of us there. So come join on the webinars, give it a shot, and let's see how it goes down for you. So let's jump into our content for today, though. Our message today is a conversation of tribes. Now, there's a book that inspired this conversation. It's not that it's a new conversation, but there was somebody who framed up. Now, you're an NLP Jedi.
Yeah.
Yes, you are. Master practitioner, yes?
This is correct.
Completely. Okay. Now, if you're not familiar with NLP, NLP is like you remember in Star Wars when they go, these are not the droids you're looking for?
These are not the droids you're looking for.
Okay, this is what Adam can do. Adam can look, these aren't the droids you're looking for. Okay, he can do that kind of crap on you, and he does it to me all the time, and it's why I find myself, running around acting like a monkey sometimes. Here's the deal. When I use the word framing or reframe, okay, what does it mean to frame something up?
Well, what it would be like, when someone would say something to you, like a word would trigger something. So if someone were to say to you, car accident, immediately your mind would picture something that goes on. So now the word tribes to you, you may envision something like an Indian tribe or something that like maybe a tribal council or something like that. Seth Godin has changed that so that now when you say tribe, you view it as you don't have to be the leader of something, but you can start a revolution without necessarily having to be the manager. I didn't mean leader. No, you become the leader of the tribe, not so much the manager of what it is. So he's changed the game from the image that you see in your mind. So that's what the framing of it basically is.
Got it. So if you can envision it, it's like having a picture frame, right? So within inside the frame is a picture. It's the painting. It's what we see and experience. And as Adam was saying, then each one of us frame up in our experience definition of particular words. And Seth Godin in his book Tribes, which is going to be the book we're going to be hitting on a bit of the content, this absolutely inspired my direction in this conversation. People are giving me credit for the conversation of tribes. I'm going to tell you right now, stop it! Don't give me credit for it, because I didn't create it. The man, the myth, the legend, one of my big inspirational mentors, the guy with the balder head than me or Adam, definitely. We got 5,000 times more hair than Seth Godin. Would you agree?
Whatever, how I think.
I mean, the guy has a shaved head.
I think it's laser removed, isn't it?
I don't know. Could be. He's fantastic, though. So Seth came to Salt Lake City. We had a chance with him. Kelly King Anderson, who was one of our guests on one of our first female guests here on the show. If you go back a few episodes, I think episode 6 or 5 or 7 or something like that in there. Anyways, she came in from Startup Princess. She brought Seth Godin here to Salt Lake City, and he wrote a book called Lynchpin and a few other, I think 9 or 10 books. But the one that really created a revolution in my life was Tribes. And here was the basic message. So go check this book out. I would go pick this book up today. You know, and some of our team pay-to-play processes and teams that we're building right now, I tell people this is like your Bible. You must understand the content within Tribes, because here is the basic message, what he's framed up. Business itself has become a game of tribes. And tribes must have a few common things amidst them. The first thing is they must have some heretic at the front running the leadership role of an organization or a movement. Right? So we're going to embed a link down here for you to go watch the Topless Guy Dancing Revolution leadership video, because I'm going to tell you right now, this will give you a perfect example. And you know what I'm going to also do? I'm going to embed a second link down there for you that's actually, we did this at a workshop and we built our own little dance revolution mimicking what we saw in this video. That'll give you the idea of what it is to be a crazy nut and lead a tribe in the game of dancing. Now let's come back to what we're talking about here then. We need a heretic. Now, when we hear this word heretic, I say this and people aren't sure what this word means. Right, so if a tribe needs a heretic, according to Seth Godin, and I would consider myself to be a heretic. You know, my grandmother's 94th birthday is coming up, and we had to create 6 words, each of us, to describe our life, our legacy, and then we gave it to my aunt. She's putting together in this book in some kind of cool process. I don't really know how that works, but we're supposed to come up with 6 words, and one of my words was heretic. I'm a heretic. I mean, what comes to your mind when you hear that word? How would you define heretic?
Someone who charges headforth for their vision and does not stop for anything.
Got it. And here's the addition to it too, is a heretic is someone who does that and goes against the grain. It's like salmon swimming upriver, right? It's easier to float downstream. They're going upstream, right? Let's give you some examples of some heretics. Martin Luther King was a heretic, right? Mother Teresa was a heretic. Jesus Christ was a heretic. You know, we could even say Barack Obama was a heretic. You know, individuals who stand up and take a stand. Now, here's the crazy thing. Being a heretic, you get stoned. People kill you. Right now, today, here's the thing, it's shifted though. The only way that you can truly create a revolution, whether it's building fans on fan page, have fanatical followings in your business, is to take a stand. And to take a stand and create a tribe. To do this, though, it only requires one crazy nut, and then a second crazy nut, and then a third crazy nut. And in a third crazy nut, you now have a crowd and you've got a movement. You'll know what I'm talking about. You may want to pause the show right now, go watch those videos and come right back, because the rest of this will make more sense to you. So the game is, I'm crazy, Adam shows up, all of a sudden we're 2 crazy nuts. Neil, our video guy, and on our team, one of my partners jumps in the game, and all of a sudden we're a crowd and we create a revolution. But for a while, I was the crazy topless shirt guy dancing by myself going, oh yeah, let's do this. We can combine the conversation of spiritual transformation and financial production. So the key first to building a tribe and to building a movement within your business has something that's beyond the message of your words. I mean, I want you to envision this, right? There's 2 types of language that are coming at you right now. In this show and in your messaging, from your marketing to your sales to your business, etc., there are 2 forms of your message that are coming forth. One form of your message is coming forth, the words that you say. The second message is coming forth with the energy that envelops those words. You know, you notice this as Adam started to share the weekly witness. There was a different energy around those words, though the language was the same possibly as the language I was using prior to him sharing this. The energy that enveloped those words was different, and the energy is what we hear. The energy is what we call our secondary conversation. It's what exists behind the scenes. It's past the hearing aspect of who we are. And so we're sitting in a space and a place and we're hearing the witness, etc. And being in a tribe and leading a tribe in your business requires first a heretic. Someone who's willing to see a pattern that is no longer working or they believe is not working and to train wreck it. This is what we're doing. You know, we're doing this here on our television show. Our pay-to-play TV and our entire programs are about breaking the mold of how we do sales, marketing, and business by fusing two powerful experiences, spiritual transformation and financial production. Now, Adam, you come from a world of spiritual transformation. You come from the healing arts world. Your mother's a healer. You come from the NLP world. You come from a lot of the energy healing, alternative, holistic healing type of practices. In that space, what do you see as the resistance to the business money conversation in that world? Because I mean, this is where, because we're getting kind of heat from both sides here, from the alternative healing world and from the business world.
Got it.
So what are you saying?
So a lot of people who have like energy healing gifts and different things like that feel bad asking money for them because they feel almost like it's their duty to stand up and do that for other people. When really, if you can't pay your mortgage or you have no place to live or even perform the arts that you may or may not be capable of, it kind of doesn't make any sense to keep doing it.
So we've got an unconscious problem with money. Mm-hmm. Okay, and so that when we begin to combine that conversation of money with the healing arts, it creates a dilemma, right? So on the opposite side in business, there was a dilemma too. People didn't want to talk about God. They didn't want to talk about spirit. They didn't want to talk about this unseen energy around money. And so we found the gap. And I said, okay, good. I'm going to step up and I'm going to own this position. I'm going to take these two worlds and we're going to create a third language that doesn't currently exist, a language that bridges the gap between these two worlds, spiritual transformation and financial production. What? Now, here's what I found in the first year. Being a heretic in this position, going against the grain in two directions, it was like fighting two battles at once. I was being completely persecuted, and at the same time, in that polarizing effect of being a heretic, it created a magnetizing effect that either repelled people from the message or drew them or attracted them to the message. Now we've kind of hit the tipping point, which is I'm not just one crazy lone nut dancing by myself, and I'm not two hanging out with me and Adam, and we're not just three as a crowd. We've got hundreds and thousands of people now playing in this game, and we've hit movement. Now the first thing is a heretic, then the second one is that you need followers, which means you need people in the tribe. Just one person standing on the street and screaming, holding up a sign, that's a crazy person. The second person is two crazy people. Three people is a movement, which means we need in a tribe, we must have a follower. Okay, there must be followers. Sometimes the most powerful thing that you can do in business is not lead, but follow. Meaning to stand in a place. Now I've done this over and over and over the last 10 years of business. There are times when I'm leading, and there's times where there is a crazy heretic who I totally believe in, and I stand right next to him. And I say, okay, got it. Let's go. So the question for you is, how often are you the crazy person? How often are you the one that is, in many situations, even more powerful, the second person to step in and support that tribe? Now, as we look at that, then we need a heretic leading, we need a group that's following, and the third thing that we need is we need a shared vision. We need a shared vision and shared message, meaning the tribe and the leader must be able to see that they're fighting for something, that they're standing for something. One of the greatest desires of humankind is to feel appreciated and to feel like they belong. Teenagers are just an example of what adults are experiencing today. See, our version of being a teenager in junior high school is found in Facebook. Right? Facebook is a perfect example of how we build tribes. We call it, I want to fan my fan page. Now it's called the liking part of your fan page now. But we build these Facebook fan pages, which are little virtual examples of building a tribe. You got somebody who starts a fan page with a message. Right? They're a heretic. They stand. They dance by themselves. The topless shirt dancing guy, the one crazy nut. And they request other people to fan them based on their message. If you believe in my message, come be part of my tribe. Now, it doesn't mean that we could belong to multiple tribes, of course. That's the cool thing about technology today. But here's what we're looking for. Unlike any time in our country's history, in the past, what did we do to heretics? We killed them. We crucified them, literally. We crucified them, we stoned them, we killed them, we threw them in jail, we burned them at the stake. Today, in our consciousness of business, here's what happens with heretics today. They're crazy for a moment, and they're millionaires in years. because we look to those who will lead us. We are in a place of chaos in our economy right now, in chaos. And when there is blood in the streets and people are full of fear, they are looking for one thing, and that is certainty. And if you will show up as a leader and show up and hold your ground and be clear as a leader in your business, as a heretic, and stop looking at your business as a business and start looking at your business as a tribe, based on a message. Now, here's some common things that must exist within your tribe. If you're going to be a heretic and you're going to build a revolution with fanatical fans as part of your organization, as your clients, as your friends, as your associates, as your brothers, as your sisters, as your connected group, you must have the following. First, there must be a way for the tribal leader to communicate with the tribe. Meaning whoever started the revolution's got to be able to communicate messages back to and extend out to the tribe. There has to be a form for this. Second, there must be a way for the tribe to be able to communicate with you as the heretic leader. Third, there must be a way for the tribe to be able to communicate with itself without the leader. Meaning once the fire catches on, they've got to be able to communicate with themselves, whether through video, through text, through audio, or whatever the message is, face-to-face or virtually. They've got to be able to connect without you. And the fourth thing that Seth Godin teaches us is the simple fact that the heretics and the tribe must be able to have a form to communicate with someone else who is part of the herd and not part of the tribe. Now, that's a distinction I create. People who are in your tribe, believe in your message, and have a form of communication with you, they have bought in. They have chosen that your fanatical stand is something that they support. On the other side, if you're part of the herd itself wants to be managed. The herd wants to be managed. The herd is a group of people that you tend to stand in the position of being a sheep herder. You're like, yeah, yeah, duh. You have to constantly, it's like herding cats. You're trying to herd cats. Go try to herd cats. That freaking sucks. But if you are a shepherd, you move to the front of an organization. You stand, you say, this is where we're going. I'm not going to pull you. I'm not going to handcuff you and force you to come. Either you choose the message that I stand in or not. And you can know how powerful you are in your ability to communicate your vision, communicate the purpose of your business, and communicate the solution that you stand to solve long before your products, because this is where people are getting screwed up today. But some people must buy you first in your business. When they buy you, it makes it easy to buy the product. If they don't buy you, buying the product is almost impossible, because now the product itself can be commoditized. Other people will mimic it, etc., but they can't mimic you, and they cannot mimic your sole purpose. And you were put here to solve a particular problem. This problem itself is not an if. If you don't solve it, someone else is going to replace you and solve it for you. And this is what we call the herd experience. The herd experience is sitting around waiting to be managed, waiting to be told what to do, waiting to be told that this is exactly how it goes. The map is not written. You and I stand in a place of possibility like we've never been in before to rewrite the map, to create literally the path from here to there, to create prosperity in our lives and in our business that has never existed before. But this requires you, as Seth says in his book, Tribes, and as I passionately stand in connection with, you must be willing to lead. And sitting around as a management position or sitting around waiting to be managed and told what to do is the fastest path to poverty, and it is the fastest path to scarcity, and it is the fastest path to living a life that is lackluster and building a business that will never last, never satisfy, and ultimately never leave a legacy. When I shifted my perception and I started looking at my business not as a way to make money, but as the mechanism to create revolution, and that the money itself would follow if I would put the people first, everything changed. Week in and week out on webinars that I'm participating in, events that I'm speaking at, the constant feedback keeps being the following: Garrett, you create more value for free than anyone else we have ever had on this webinar series or on this event or at this thing. And guys, I'm talking about people who have been well-renowned speakers, trainers, authors for 10, 15, 20, 30 years. Because the game is today, be real and be a heretic. We can be heretics, each one of us, in our soul purpose contract. Because that problem we've been called to serve and that solution that we've created in our business and the product that stands in the middle, as has guys Gary Vaynerchuk, and he's got a couple of videos. We'll embed that video down below here from the Web 2.0 Expo. When he spoke of that, he said, listen, it's way too easy It's too easy to go lose a bunch of money doing what you hate. He said, you might as well be doing something you love because it's just as easy to lose money doing that. So stop doing what you hate and start getting paid to play. That's my message. That's what my stand is. My legacy is very simple. I will be considered one of the preeminent thought leaders on the planet for fusing two conversations together, the world of spiritual transformation and alternative healing and holistic health, and the conversation of financial production, meaning getting paid to play. I was a crazy lone nut. Adam joined me. And then that means that was a signal. That was a signal for you to join me. Now we have two crazy nuts. Now I put a third person in, so we're gonna put Seth's face right up here, right? So we got three of us, we got all three of us. Now we've got a movement. Seth, me, and the Buddha, right? This show itself has been about being a heretic. Here's what I can tell you. Get very clear, actionable steps here. Here's what they are. Number one, determine why you are worthy to lead. Determine your worthiness to lead. That's the biggest issue I've found. The second is determine what your vision or your message is. What is your stand? And third, start sending your message. Use the tools available to you through Facebook, through YouTube, through Twitter, to whatever social media platforms you can find that are free, and start putting your message out there and see what happens. Any thoughts?
Yeah, me and my friend just started a Facebook fan page 2 days ago, and we've already got 40 fans. And we're just changing the face of self-harm awareness.
Got it. It's easier today than it's ever been. Start leading and following. But start leading and following in the conversation of tribes. Go check out this book. You'll love it. This book itself has absolutely rocked my life. Tribes by Seth Godin. I know some of you read this. I've recommended it to you, and you're like, that book blows. I'm going to tell you right now, it's all good. I get it. His message is not for everyone, but his message is for those who are ready to stand up and lead. That's me, that's Adam. This has been another episode, a short and condensed version of Paid to Play Today TV. Now, here's the deal. It used to be Authentic Entrepreneur TV. We switched it because most of you guys can't spell entrepreneur and you can never find the show, and it was completely brutal. And so we're going to make it easy for you. Paidtoplay.tv. This episode itself has been completely focused on the conversation of tribes and you being a heretic and leading forward in your business. Find your message, find your purpose, find your peeps, and start leading. My name is Garrett J. White. I am the Authentic Entrepreneur, and this is
AKA the Buddha.
And we're reminding you to not only to be real, be raw, be relevant, most importantly to be
authentic.